Hi, I'm Dan Murphy, and you are watching a preview of this year's annual town meeting for the town of Dover. The town meeting will be taking place Monday, May 7th in the Linquist Commons Auditorium at 7 p.m. So I encourage everyone watching this to come by, help us reach quorum, and hopefully we'll get through the town meeting in one night. This is being recorded before the warrant committee has had a chance to make their recommendations on the various articles, but this will just be an overview of what the articles are. So up first, we have Article 1, which is a general procedural article to start the town meeting and hear the various reports. Article 2, a lot of these are pretty procedural standard stuff, but Article 2 is the revaluation of property by the Board of Assessors. Article 3 is to set the salaries for elected officials in the town of Dover. Article 4 is to set salaries and expenditures for town departments, officers, boards, and committees. And then Article 5, we get into some line items here with seeking sums of money for the fire and ambulance is seeking a fire inspection vehicle. The police department is seeking a patrol vehicle. And the highway department is seeking an H3 vehicle that's a 6-wheel dump truck. So all these will be discussed, what sums of money for these purchases at the town meeting as part of Article 5. Article 6 is unemployment compensation. Article 7 is accumulated sick leave. And then Article 8 is one of the first articles that we get to that is not something that you would encounter every year, and that's to amend Section 516 of the bylaws for the town of Dover to include a table for the recycling committee, and that's going to be important in conjunction with Article 9 because that deals with revolving funds, which now there are line items for the recycling committee. But they're at the bottom, so first we have to look at some of the other expenditures as part of Article 9. The building department is seeking $7,200 for a gas inspector, $17,500 for a plumbing inspector, and $29,500 for a wiring inspector. The Board of Health is seeking $40,000 for a perk and deep hole inspection and permitting, $50,000 for septic inspection and permitting, $20,000 for well inspection and permitting, and $10,000 for swimming pool inspection and permitting. Then next up is the library, who is seeking $5,000 for materials replacement. The Council on Aging is seeking $35,000 for senior activities and transport. And then we get to the recycling committee, which has $1,500 for material sales proceeds. So next we move on to Article 10. Which is to raise and appropriate funds for highway construction. Article 11 is seeking to replace the boiler at the Carroll Community Center. Article 12 is conducting a hydrology study and getting everything in order for that. Article 13 is to amend the general bylaws, specifically Chapter 96, pertaining to demolition review, and I think that's to bring numbering in line consistently with the rest of the town bylaws. Article 14 is to amend the general bylaws to ban commercial plastic bag use, so that would mean businesses would no longer be allowed to offer plastic bags as an option when making a purchase at one of those stores. They'll need to find alternatives, or people will need to bring their own bags. So this will be an interesting thing to potentially discuss at the town meeting. So I encourage you to come to the town meeting to discuss that. Article 15 is to make improvements to the Carroll Community Center. This is a separate article from Article 11, which, as you may recall, pertains to the boiler. So these will be other improvements, probably not including the boiler. Article 16 is to raise funds for the Conservation Commission, specifically Chapter 40, Section 8C. And then Article 17 pertains to raising funds for Open Space and Recreation Plan of 2011. So this is something that's been around for about 7 years, and this is being addressed this year. Article 18 is regards to using bonds to pay project costs for various projects throughout the town. Article 19 is it pertains to the transfer of free cash to cover the cost of capital equipment improvements, which is a fairly standard thing that happens most years. Article 20 is the borrowing of capital for improvements to the Dover-Sherborn Regional School District. So this is separate from Article 19, as this pertains directly to the school and Dover's share of the region. Article 21 is to amend Section 18546 of the zoning bylaws. This is again in regards to numbering, similar to Article 13, which was about demolition review. Article 22 is to prohibit marijuana establishments in the town of Dover. That is growers. I think this specifically pertains to growers, as I'm sure many people are aware, Massachusetts legalized marijuana a couple years ago, and it's taken a little while for the specifics of the laws regarding the sale and cultivation of marijuana to become clear. And at this point, I think now the prohibition is an option for the town of Dover, and they are looking to act on that with Article 22. Article 23 is to establish a reserve fund exceeding no more than 5% for any funds received by the town. And then Article 24 pertains to paying unpaid bills. Article 25, which may be taken out of order because it also pertains to Article 4, deals with various supplemental appropriations, including the ones mentioned in Article 4, which is why I believe this may be taken out of order. And Article 26 deals with free cash appropriations for the ensuing fiscal year. Article 27 deals with creating the Town of Dover Stabilization Fund. And Article 28 is establishing the ballot for the upcoming election. At this point, there are obviously the town officers that will be on the ballot, but there is also, at this point, a question on the ballot, which again relates to the Carroll Community Center, because not only do these improvements need to be voted on at town meeting, they're significant enough that they would also need to make the ballot to be able to pass. So that's what's on the docket for the town meeting for Dover. Once again, the meeting will take place Monday, May 7th, 2018 in the Linquist Commons Auditorium. I hope we can get through it in one night. I hope to see many of you there because I would like to reach quorum rapidly, and hopefully we can get through this very quickly. So if this is of interest to you and you are interested in participating in town government, I encourage you to come. You should be receiving materials in the mail regarding Warrant Committee's recommendations, and you can find most of this information online as well at doverma.org. Once again, I'm Dan Murphy. Thank you for watching this preview of the Dover Town Meeting. Okay.